As I was preparing for this talk this morning, my partner is on call with her job, and we got a call in our home about 2 little children who were brought over on the border because the parents in their life is so bad, they're trying to get their children into a better place. And so now they're looking for international homes to host these children. And I broke down and cried when I heard it. And I thought, how sweet, that moved me in compassion. Well, that's what I asked that board to do. I want you to think about something that just softens your heart and opens you up to compassion. And then as we did that, I said, now I want you to think about our church and what's going on in the life of our church. And it was very clear our youth program had exploded. We had over 50 children. We were getting ready to hire an associate minister. There was lots of really wonderful things happening with the church. And I said, so very clearly ask, is this the time for us to launch a program to come out with a new logo or not? Do we replace the sign, or do we go out for a whole new, let's come up with a whole new thing? And then every person wrote on the piece of paper what they got by themselves. We finished the prayer. We went around the table, and one by one, every single one, all 8 said, replace the sign, keep the sign, just fix it, repair the sign, repair the sign, repair the sign, repair the sign, repair the sign. It was so healing. I'm not kidding. When we got through, people were crying because those that had been attached realized, you know what? Compassion moves you from my selfish, not selfish in a mean sense, but we're all opinionated. But compassion moved me from my physical self to my metaphysical self, which I share oneness with all of humanity. Every single board member was able to go to that place, and in going to that place clearly got what I believed and felt was in the highest and best interest of the church, but that was not mine to say. I'm not that kind of minister. I want it to be discerned. But that group of people was able to tap in compassion and therefore came out with what was best. And so we made a decision that we all agreed was best. And then if someone else came up and said, that sign is horrible, why didn't we replace it? The board member can say, I understand how you could feel that way, and I absolutely know that in the life of our church right now, what's going on, that would way derail us. Can you see how compassion, how that example helped everybody in that experience move from, I can get out of my own self, I can get out of my book of limitations, because our book of limitations really has our attachments in it. It's our own self-imposed limitations, but it is not trespassing to cross our own boundaries. You were born to do so. One example. Second example is another personal example. I told you I just spent time especially with my sister, and my sister's husband is a Pentecostal minister. My family are Pentecostal. I grew up that way. And so our religious beliefs are very, very different. My lifestyle is a lifestyle that they think is very, very different. And so we've had to really have some conversations, but we've reached that place of compassion that says, I may not personally agree with all you believe or all you think or the way you act, but I undoubtedly accept and love you as my daughter, my friend, as a creation of God. Now that is powerful. Can you see how, once again, that the spirit of compassion can, when you are in those situations with people that for the life of you may drive you crazy, you can still say, I can never accept your lifestyle, I can never accept the behavior, I can never accept what you're doing, I can never agree with that, but I can accept that you are a child of all that is, and therefore I can have compassion. And the third example would be really come from your life. Each of us have things in our own life that we would rather be different. Anybody? Absolutely. And yet whatever those things are, those very things are seeking to expand you beyond your physical and to bridge the marriage of your soul with yourself. Now this is, I know, a deep conversation in many ways, and it will, if you'll let it, it'll be like a slow soaking rain that'll quicken you and wake up some stuff. Because what we're being called to do is create unity within ourselves. Unity's very mission a couple of years ago, and it's still rippling through unity, is unity within unity. Unity within the individual, unity within the home, unity within the church, unity within the country. And that means we may never, ever look the same. We don't want to look the same. But it's the spirit of compassion that will allow us to be able to accept the differences, and in that open ourselves to compassion, which is love, which is God. Cerny, would you give me that song? Bill Plotkin, who takes people on soul quests, in his book Soulcraft, wrote this. I ask you to close your eyes and just listen. There's so much more to who you are than you know right now. You're indeed something mysterious and someone magnificent. You hold within you, secreted for safekeeping in your heart, a great gift for this world. Although you might sometimes feel like a cog in a huge machine, that you really don't matter in the great scheme of things, the truth is that you're fully eligible for a meaningful life, a mystical life, a life of great fulfillment and service right where you are. To enter that life, you need not join a tribal culture or renounce your religious values. You do not necessarily need to quit a job or sell a house or learn to eat only vegetables. You do, however, need to undertake a journey as joyous and gratifying as it is long and difficult. You will perhaps have to make sacrifices of the greatest sort along the way. And you're not going to be able to determine what they are before you start. Nonetheless, to put things in proper perspective, please remember that at no point will you be asked to sacrifice any social roles, any material objects, or any self-images that you won't lose anyway at the time of your final breath. Something at your very core prays that you won't reach that moment without having courageously embarked many years earlier on the mystical journey of your soul. Your guide, it is compassion. So my friends, excavate it, cultivate it, and demonstrate it. All the while carrying what is hidden within you, your soul, as a gift to others.